Well, we're used to seeing those finishes, my man, but now we got to see those. We got to see 15 minutes of hard work. What's up? Are you proud of that or what?
Hello, sir. How are you?
Doing good yourself?
It's a blessing to see you.
Blessing. Thank
What's
you.
your name?
Armando?
Armando. Good to see you, Armando. Oh, yeah, I feel good, bro. Honestly, I think that was a fight. Tough fight. I thought Nico would go out sooner than I expected, but you know what? He's a tough guy, but I'm blessed to have won. Obviously, as a person, you want better performance, like knock the guy out and stuff. But my mindset today was trying to finish the fight. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I won and I'm blessed. Thank God. God is good.
Absolutely. And for the people who kind of come to expect you to get the finish, this has to give you a little bit of, you already have the confidence as it is, but even more so to keep building and building towards your goals that you can go 15 minutes with a veteran if you need to.
Yeah, of course. I feel good about that, but this is a tough sport. You need to be smart and win smartly and knock guys out and get out of there quicker. But sometimes guys are prepared for you. At this level, it's hard to get finishes, sometimes. And when you're blessed to have one, celebrate it, because sometimes it can go away very soon. Yeah, Nico is tough. It was a good fight for me mentally, because you know what, he took me to a place where a lot of people failed to, and it was a blessing.
How close were those chokes to getting him out of there?
He's a tough veteran. He knows what he's doing. When I had the rear naked choke on him first round, I kind of went off a little bit in terms of like focusing on choking him, and got excited. I'm like, oh, I got him. Then he threw me on my head. I went out for a little bit, for a millisecond, and came back to life and be like, okay, cool, let's go again. But he told me that he also went out a little bit. So yeah, tough guy, tough fight. What a blessing to have shared the cage with him.
Absolutely. I love the fight. And, it was back and forth. What were you most proud of tonight? Your wrestling, your grappling, top control, conditioning?
I'll be honest with you. I trained for everything. But one thing I didn't want to do today, but he forced me to, was to wrestle. Because he kept me hitting me with that Lupe hook of his. He kept hitting behind my equilibrium. So that hook was landing a lot more than I expected. I was blocking, but I was kind of like missing a block. And he was hitting me. He hit me like 2 times, 3 times with that shot. And first round, if you saw, when we were in the clinch, I kind of like pushed him away because I was like, screw this. I don't want to wrestle today. I want to strike with you. And then when he kept landing those shots, unfortunately, life happens. You start to resort to the easiest way to victory. I was, honestly, in my heart, I wanted to finish the fight. From the start to the finish, I have a point to prove. I wanted to prove a point, not to anybody but myself, that I am capable of finishing fights. It was a gritty fight. What a blessing. It's life, bro. I learned from it. I'll be better. It was my first time to have a camp in Vegas too, like with Coach Eric. And yeah, I mean, the results showed. I'll be better with the next one.
Yes, sir. How was training like for this camp leading up to the fight?
A little bit. As soon as doing something quick.
Of course.
It was a little bit different. A lot more signs from the PIA guys, Gavin and Becky and the rest of their team there. I'm a hard worker already, but something that I've lacked for a very long time was the science behind my hard work that I can trust. So the PI guys helped me get that comfort, like walking into the PI, seeing guys like Terence Crawford training there, and everybody that trains there and seeing their results, and like in the back of my head, I thought of Terence Crawford and what he did after he was training at the PI. So I was like, you know what these guys doing and making me do works. And in my head, honestly, that was the thing. I was like, if he can go out there and do that and he trusts them to come and train here at the PI, these are the best, these guys are the best. And honestly, this was the best I've ever felt physically going into the fight. And then training at Extreme with guys like Sean Strickland and the rest of the team, Chris, Brad, Tavares, and like Michel Pereira is fighting next week. Good luck to him. Honestly, training with them, and my main training partner for this fight was Edmund Shabazin. If I can go 15 minutes with that guy is like one of the best fighters. I mean, he lost his last fight, but I don't think he should have lost. Shit happens, but training with those guys give me so much confidence, seeing what they're doing and doing it with them, and still do my extra work. Just elevates me to another level mentally. Not that I don't have that mindset, but when you're not training with guys at that level, you kind of like second guess yourself. Am I doing things right? Is this right? Is this wrong? And then when you train with them and you do extra, and they can tell you, the guys at Extreme, that I'm probably the hardest working guy they've ever met. And now I have signs behind my hard work. I feel like the sky is the limit. I would like to come back and fight early January, latest early January. I have to end my sport out of the Apex, but I don't mind fighting at the Apex, the first card of the year, 2024, 11th of January. I'd like to have one more fight before my 34th birthday. I'm not spring chicken. I know black don't crack, I look good, but I'd like to fight on the 11th of January, start the year with a bang. I would like to fight in December if Nick Diaz and Vicente Luque, if one of them pulls out, I would love to fight one of them. I already requested before, but you know what, coming from that performance of Ramiz, I don't think it was justifiable for me to go and fight the top guys like them. I don't know about this performance, but I'll just throw my name in the bag if they decide to give me, if that fight only does not happen, if Vicente Luque pulls out. I don't mind fighting Diaz. He's a legend of the sport. If Diaz pulls out, may you please give me Vicente Luque. But if it does not end up being happening that way, I would like to fight the first card of 2024 on the 11th of January.
Oh, that would be great. Sign me up. Are you going to stay in town a week for Michelle's fight, or probably not?
Michel Pereira, I was with him this morning at the PI. So I've been helping him with his fight simulation. So I showed up this morning and tried to, I said to him, I'm helping you again today. He's like, my friend, why? You fighting today? I'm like, no, you're my friend. I want to help you. But you know what? That guy is, like one of the nicest people I've ever met. English is a little bit of a barrier between me and him. But good people, you can feel them. And he's, honestly to me, he's one of the good-hearted people, Michel Pereira, and I wish him nothing but the best. Unfortunately, I've been away too long from my kids. I have to go home, spend some time with those two girls. My wife is here. I'm going to take she's not at the fight. She's at the Airbnb we've been staying. I'm going to take her to an African restaurant, have some food there, relax a little bit, then go out with the team later on and celebrate. And then Monday, Tuesday, we fly back home to Miami and spend some time with my daughters, take them to tennis, and spend another week away, 2 weeks away. Then I'll be back in Vegas again, training for the next one, trying to stay relevant for the Diaz-Luque fight. And if it does not happen, sign me up for January. Anybody? I don't do that job of choosing my fights. Selecting who I'm fighting next, I wish to fight higher guys, ranked guys, but sometimes life happens and, I can only control what I can control. That is me showing up when I'm called and fighting and winning and become undeniable. One day my time will come and my turn will be there and I'll become the champion, I believe. As long as I keep on fighting, I believe I'm going to keep on winning.
Excellent. Well, I can't wait to see you. I hope you get the fight in December and January. Keep up the great work, sir.
No, one of the two. I'm not a Superman. It's either 7th of January, only if Luque or Diaz, one of them pull out, or I want to put anybody on the 11th of January, Give me a test. Give me a test. You saw what happened when you give me a test. I want to go to those dark places and be able to win. I think for my next fight, I want to work a lot more on finishing the fight. I tried today. I tried my level best, man. I couldn't just get it right. But I'm blessed to have won.
You mentioned that your wife is here but not here watching the fight. Does she not like to watch the fights?
Wait, one second. Amy, listen. It's a little bit different. It's It's a little bit different, man. You know, I think fighting is a brutal sport, and it's nerve-wracking. And if you love somebody, you wouldn't want them to fight, right? And can you imagine having to take my wife to come here and and be like Jason House, Sloan, and my coach Eric, being there and being nervous like that? I think I'll give my wife a heart attack. So I prefer for her own safety of her health to stay long and relevant and older. I prefer for her to watch it from home. It's safer and better than to watch it live. I think it can give her a heart attack sometimes, and I just think it's not nice for me to put her through that.
And you mentioned, wanting that Luque or Diaz fight if it falls through. Would you want to be an official backup where you go and you cut weight and weigh in and all of that? Would you do that?
I offered that in the last one. I predicted that fight was not going to happen when they booked it in Abu Dhabi, and I told my manager, I love Jason, but I told him, but he knew that obviously coming from the last performance, he loves me, and I knew he's kind of like, brother, maybe it will happen, maybe not, but let's focus on the next fight. I predicted that fight was not going to happen. A lot of people said, no, it was going to happen. You can ask as many people as you want that came face to face with me. I told them that this fight, Luque and Diaz, was not going to happen. And what happened, Mystic Mamba striked and didn't happen. I feel like December, this time around, might be Luque pulling out. Give me Diaz. He's a legend of the sport, but the sport moves, man. And what an honor will it be for me to share cage with him. If it's Luque, I would love to fight him. But like I say, man, that's like just a theory in my head. But what the UFC wants for me is different, probably. So let me focus on taking my kids to tennis now. Spend a week with my family, 2 weeks away. Let me come back, start training, getting to know my new team, getting to know my coach. And when the call comes, I'll be ready.
Thank you.
It's a blessing.
I know you're enjoying the home there in Miami, and it sounds like the kids have a great routine as well with tennis and stuff. But as you said, with now coming up in here, enjoying the PI, the science here, and, working over at Extreme, have you had thoughts of trying to relocate to Vegas?
If you ask me, my biggest goal besides me becoming what I want to be is for my daughters to go to Wimbledon and play tennis.
Yeah.
And the greatest place and the best place for tennis is Miami. So there's no option for that. Of course, yes, I will come here and train for my fights, win my fights, but Miami is going to stay home because of my kids. I take them to the best tennis places I can. I work hard for their tennis. So like now when I go back, I'll take my daughter again to the same place, Ricky Massey's tennis club in Boca, and she will play there for as long as I'm there. Ricky Massey is the legendary tennis coach of Venus and Serena Williams. And why not my two daughters become the new Gorimbo? I don't like them to be thinking they're the next Venus and Serena. No, they're the new Gorimbo on the block. So Miami is home forever because of tennis. Yep. You can't move to Vegas for tennis, especially if you ever go for tennis. It's too hot here. I don't think Vegas is no disrespect for anyone that lives here, but I think it's not very kids-friendly. It's too hot. Kids want to play outside and do things, and Miami is just a perfect place for that. Why not do that there and come and handle my business? Yeah.
Yep.
God is good.
Makes sense. I was just going to say there is an Andre Agassi tennis club here as well, but you're right, it is way too hot here most of the times of the year. That being said, one last question that you said something I would love to get your thoughts. You said that he took you to a place, I want to say maybe it was mentally, that a fighter never taken you before. Can you enlighten us? What was this place and that you went?
He threw me on my head when I was trying to finish him with the rear naked choke, and I went out for a little bit, and I came back to life. And you know what? That's where he took me, but it was not something I've never seen before, but it was something new for me in the UFC. I had to dog it out. But honestly, I was trying to finish the fight from all perspective. If you see where the fight ended, I think I ended the fight in a knee-bar position.
Yep.
I was trying to finish that fight from the first round to the last round. But I know the critics and the people will start coming for me and say, oh, boring, or maybe whatsoever. But, I mean, I have to live for me. God bless me with the gift of working hard. I know one fight at a time, I'll become undeniable. I just have to thank people that are behind me, that support me. Shout out to my coach, my wrestling coach. He's been here from South Africa for 12 weeks, or more than 12 weeks, really, helping me. We stayed in the same house for that amount of time. We irritated the shit out of each other. At times, I wouldn't want to see them. My coach Sloan and my boy Slade over there outside there, the boy you see there. You know, we stayed in a big house, the three of us, and sometimes they irritated me, but you know what? They sacrifice their time away from their family, and those are the people that need the enlightenment. And my manager, Jason House, I love that man. He gives me one of the hardest times, like a father figure to me. You know, I'm scared to tell him some things sometimes because he's that hard on me sometimes. But you know what? I'll listen to that man. He's my manager till I die. He's going to become a tennis manager too. Just saying. Only for 2 people, for my 2 girls. But at the end of the day, you know, and my coach Eric. And I just want to shout out to the guys at the PI by their names. Gavin Pratt. Listen, that man is a genius and a scientist. He made me a beast. I'm looking forward to take a little break and see how big I am actually after this. And Becky, she helped me a lot. And the rest of the team at the PI, man, the receptionist guys and the people at the juice bar. You know, I'm sometimes a hard person, but you know what, those people, man, are really a blessing. They make the PI what it is. And I just want to shout out to the UFC for allowing us to have that, you know. Because a lot of fighters like to say money, this, money, that, but hey, man, there's a lot of things that the UFC does for us that if you actually use it right and correctly, you can become anything if you use the resources right. So I want to give a shout out to the UFC and whoever that came up with the idea of the PI. And may you please open the PI in Africa. In Zimbabwe too. I mean, you gotta throw the name out there. A PI in Zimbabwe, I can organize with the land. Just organize everything else. We are hungry in Zimbabwe, just like they are hungry in Mexico.
Congrats on the victory.
It's a blessing.
Just one for me. Congratulations on the performance. You mentioned Terrence Crawford and the work he puts out here in the PI. Is that a guy that you've had a chance to exchange some words with and maybe even learn a couple pointers from?
The only way that exchange with Terrence Crawford was when we were taking a picture. I said to him, hey man, we gotta get a light on because I'm too black. And he said, hey, we are same. I mean, we are maybe slightly the same, very dark. I mean, it's a joke that, you know, us, the black guys make. It's no offense to anyone else, but it's just a joke that we made between the two of us. And he said, yeah, brother, we are the same. Let's take the picture. So that's the only ways that I exchanged with him. And then seeing Mike Tyson at the PI, it was also a blessing, man, just to tell you that this place works. These are the legends. Terrence Crawford is probably one of my favorite fighters, favorite boxers. I mean, after Canelo. And it sounds very contradicting, right? But yeah, after Canelo, Terrence Crawford is one of my favorite boxers, man. He's probably the pound-for-pound best, and I still like Canelo. I think Terrence is the pound-for-pound best, and seeing him training at the PI just gives me confidence I need that, hey, the PI works, and I'm going to ride at the PI, and I become the UFC welterweight champion. It's a matter of time.
Congratulations.
Thank you. What a blessing it is. We done out here? Thank you, guys. Shout out to you, Emmy. I saw some stuff that you go through. Keep your head up. It's a blessing.